Good day, dear friend, and welcome to the Friday version of this thing of ours, Ventilation Friday, by the way, a celebration of intellectual and issue myriadism, myriad, a pastiche, a myriad, a mosaic, a cornucopia, a veritable melange of topics, of things that just at the end of the week, sort of end of the week, I don't really feel that anyway, because to me every day is the same. It's Friday is Saturday is it's the same. It's work and do my stuff, but a labor of love to bring to you this intellectual and spiritual review of what is going on in the world. I say to you, a welcome to you, a hearty hello and a hi-ho silver, and remind you that right off the bat, my friends, right off the bat, we're looking at 151 days until the election. 151 days until the election. What does that mean to you? And by the way, today we're just gonna speak like humans. I wrote down some. Uh, I wrote down my list of things to discuss, which is just today I got a big day, planned. Got to get the Yugo inspected. It's a stretch. Got to get that thing go by and get it looked at. And it's my favorite. I love doing this. There's a tire place I go to, and it's been in Hell's Kitchen since 1900. I mean, maybe not the original location, but it's just the greatest place in the world. I love these. They come in. It's a neighborhood joint and biggest rack in the world. It's like, what are you inspecting? Checking the air. I mean, it's such a. But anyway, you do these things. You do these little stupid. You do these. You got to know in life how to just have this list. I got a list of stuff. Always list. And people don't know how to do this, especially youngins. They don't know how to have a list of things to do. Here's a list, write it down, and get to it. And also, here's something I want to say: anticipate. Plan something. When I plan something, I'm thinking, what's tomorrow going to be? Okay, we're going to do this. And more likely than that, then we're going to need to do this. And then I got to move the time over here because there won't be time to do the show at night. So I got to move it down to 6. And I just do this. It's called thinking it through. Imagining, going through and saying, if this happens, then this will happen. And if this happens, then it's the story of life, my friends. Try to teach kids this. Have you ever tried to do this? Think it through. And what happens then? And if he says this, then you're going to say this. Well, what happens if he doesn't respond that way? Thinking, playing chess. It's what it's about. I'm going to start off with a couple of things right now. First of all, I'm going to say to you, thanks for being with us. Make sure, friends, you always subscribe to the channel. You got it? Make sure you subscribe because people are sometimes unsubscribed, which is a great thing to know. Second of all, please like the videos. Likes are critical. Start liking, hit that like thing. I'm going to get this out of the way and hit the bell so you're notified of new streams and whatever. I just did a brand new one of my subjects I've loved since I was a kid. And I just did a brand new video and it will drop. And for Lionel Nation members, you'll get this. You can watch it right now if you like. And I got to tell you something, years ago. I remember this. You know how sometimes memories are a weird thing. Memories, you don't really have a memory. You oftentimes have the memory of the last time you recall the memory. You remember what you said last time about something. You said, this is what I said last time. I said this happened, and you just remember what you said. Okay. But this I do remember happening, but I see it kind of as a composite. One night, when I was a kid, we're sitting around, and I don't know if you did this, but I haven't thought about this in a while. We had one TV. Everybody did. We had one TV, like in the living room. We called it a Florida room. Don't ask me why. It's a Florida thing. Don't ask me. It's a living room. Call it the Florida room. Florida, Florida, Florida. Just anyway. We had kind of a big wooden thing, big weighed 6 cabinetry, big tube. You had to have the TV repairman come, the guy with a mirror. I mean, all this horizontal hold. We had no remote control. I was the remote control. You know that story. We had an antenna. Okay. One night, I remember we were watching the first time I ever saw a beauty pageant. And it was it might have been Burt Parks, might have been, I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was. Miss Universe, Miss America. There she is. Miss America. Remember Burt Parks? It was it. And I was watching. It was my mother, my sister, my father, and I'm watching. I said, what is this? It's a beauty pageant. What's a beauty pageant? Well, it's a pageant to see who's beautiful. And these are beautiful? Okay. And this is before plastic surgery. I mean, there might have been mammoplasty, there might have been breast augmentation, but it was far cruder. You know what I mean? It was crude. It was bags. You know, it was like salt. You know, saline. It was not. You know, silicone. Anyway, so I said, this is the most stupid thing I've ever heard in my life. And I'm listening to like my sister, my mother, whatever. And then later on, the first time I noticed this. I said, what is this? Men don't do that. Who does he think he is? Look at that. Big stick. No, men are different. So different. The idea of, if you had a friend of yours who was, let's say, the quote captain of the football team or the cool guy, you'd say, hey, that's my friend. I'm proud of my friend and he's my friend. It's different. There's like, look at you. Who does he think he is? And the idea of men and pulchritude, never heard of it. He's handsome. Men would say, that's my friend. He gets all the chick. You know what I mean? It's almost like a weird fondness and me connecting with, okay, not women. No. Two guys meeting. If we're at a bar or something, if I say, hey, Jerry, I want you to meet a buddy of mine, Joe. Hey, Joe, how you doing? And if Joe, my new friend, goes to the John or goes away, my friend say, nice guy. Yeah. Immediately. It's what men do. We're like gregarious. We're nice. Serious. I mean, you know, we might be competitive, you know, politically or business, but there's not this. And there's not the once over. Have you seen the once over? That's the worst. What is this? It's like ever see two cats kind of meet, stalking each other? It's like, what the? This is weird. Strange, but it's true. It's true. Don't tell me it doesn't happen. And women love to say, no, it doesn't happen. Yes, it does happen. And you know it's true. And I know it's true. And women hate each other. Hate each other. Oh, my God. That's why you have women. I'm sorry. We got to talk about this. Some women, most of the times, if you had any situation where you said, listen, this is my husband's having a surprise party, and you go to your husband's best friend or your boyfriend, whatever it is, and you say, how many people should I invite? How many friends does he have? You need an armory. Whereas if somebody said, I'm going to throw a party for, you know, somebody, for a woman's, how many close friends do they have? None. Few. Family, girlfriend, but very close, very selective, very, 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 I'm going to say this, you ready for this? Unsociable. But the pretense, and social media blew this thing up. It was the greatest thing ever, because now you have this, hey, I'm hanging with my girls. I love this girl. No, you don't. Oh, yes, I do. So it's lying. And years ago, I'll never forget this, being an observer of our society. Years ago, I noticed something that came about. I don't know when it was. Might have been 5 years ago. I don't know when it was. It's called the skinny arm pose. I don't know where this came from. Remember when duck lips made it? Remember they don't do duck lips anymore. Remember duck lips? And there was another that look. There was this woman, I knew she was on local like a news person, every time a news show, every time she put a picture of her, she had. So what's the matter with her mouth? It's like her dentures don't fit. What's wrong? What's wrong with this? Oh, that's the duck lips. The duck lips. She doesn't look like this normally. Well, why is she making that look? Well, that's sexy. No, it's not. It's like she's saying pucker up with with the invisible man. What is this? It's what they do. Why do they do this? Because once a trend starts, that's it. Then came skinny arm pose. What was that? This is where you stand in the corner and you turn with your one arm akimbo, and that gives you skinny arm. How about this? Which, by the way, does not, because if you've got a big arm, now you're turning it on the side so everybody can see it. If you didn't see my Larry Scott biceps, now you can, because I've turned them sideways to deflect your attention from that. Doesn't make any sense to me. Then that was big, and that kind of went away. It's just this. But the best one, love my girls. Here we are, my girls. Love me some. Here's my girls. If I said, here's a deal. I'm going to have an event. It's called, you can call it whatever you want. And everybody show up. And it'll look like a dinner, but it's not. We'll have that in the background. And we'll have kind of hair and makeup and the best lighting you've ever seen. Come here and just take pictures with your friends. Pay me $200, $300, show up, get dressed up, and just take pictures of each other all night long. All night long. Just doing this, doing the dancing, hanging with my girls, creating the illusion that in this perfect world that you live in of beauty and grace and your friends and this celebration of fashion and style and elegance and close sisterhood. I mean, it's just nonsense. It's this. Okay. Social media turbocharged that. You talk about turbo cancer. This is like a turbo cancer for the degradation of what's left of this. And when somebody says, when you joke about this, Judge Ketanji Brown, can you define a woman? I can. Most people can. Don't give me this business about, you can give me this Leah Thomas business all you want. You could take Rachel Levine, put a wig on him. It doesn't matter. That ain't a woman. It's not, we're not talking, gonads or that's not it. It's the mind. It's the mind. Okay. Cut to the chase. The most stupid thing anybody has ever concocted in the history of mankind is the beauty pageant. Absolutely slave-like minstrel show, degrading its roots. Kunta kinte. They ought to come out with numbers on them. Say it. Bend over, honey. Toe. And that's it. Just come out and just look at them. Bend over, drop something. Bend over. What do you think? Number 2, honey, can you turn around again? You got a better shot. Okay, 3. Okay, that's all. Let's go home. Boom. That's it. But no, they stretch it out. Here she is dancing. We don't want to see her dance. What are you dancing for? No, she's got talent. Nobody cared. Okay. We'll pretend this was classic beauty pageant. My favorite was a poor woman who said, you know what? I really don't have a talent, but I'm going to go out and I'm going to twirl a baton. And you're like, wow. Who has a sister who got into like baton twirling? Remember when baton twirling was this? Like, whoa. I don't mean this, but I mean the hand stuff and throwing it up, and they just don't do baton anymore. They just don't do it. It was different. They throw this thing up, then you'd always see them in the front yard. They're throwing it up, and then you see the cowering. It's kind of like lawn darts. You learn how to cover your head because this thing is coming down. And I thought, what are we talking about? Then gave rise to cheerleading. Then pep squad. Then there was subdirectees where cheerleaders did these. Cheerleaders today, it's so athletic. Dear God, jumping. And the men. Remember the old days, they'd say, well, George Bush was this is my son. He's into cheerleading. Uh-huh. Yeah, we know what that meant. Uh-huh. Yeah, okay. Well, what are you going to do? Today, these cheerleading men, they're holding a woman in their hand. These are brutes. This is like the world's strongest man. Don't give me this business. This is like, dear God, this is pure athleticism that I can watch how they do this. And he's like looking up, and up in her crotch. I mean, she's got his hand up. Anyway, it's not what you think. So that's that. When I was also I remember we'd go to I never understood the Friday night football game. What do we want to go to the football? I never understood. It's like, what am I, this is high school football. This is the worst. With a bad marching band, horrible. Robert Klein had the best line ever. He says his marching band was so bad that when they played the national anthem, people from every country stood up except the Americans. It was the worst. And then they had these cheerleaders. I go, who were these cheerleaders? We were at this Jesuit high school. It was all, male boy. And then we had the academy, which was the girls version. And then would bring these cheerleaders in to cheer. And so we can't even hear them. The players can't hear them. What is the purpose of the cheer? The players are going 242. Hang on, wait a minute. I think she said, remember sis boom? What? I'm sorry. I can't hear the cheer. I got to get the cheer, the pep instruction. Would you pay attention to the game? No, I'm paying attention to the one. Okay. I never got it. And there were these weird incantations of ready. What is this? It's like a militaristic. Cut to the chase. Stupid, ridiculous, dumb, idiotic, a waste of time. Subjugation of women, complete. It was just horrible. And women, of course, men are laughing at them because they're running the show. Donald Trump ran beauty pageants. Oh my! And then the children's beauty pageants, even worse. John Benet Ramsey, an absolute disgusting. Now, cut to the chase. 17-minute intro. Good, I got it. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Sarah Millican. Now, I put her picture up, but this morning I'm too lazy for this. This is a woman. Just go online. It's no big deal. Sarah Millican. She is the Miss Alabama. Well, not really Miss Alabama. Sorta. It's Miss Alabama, but it's a different. Well, it's called, technically speaking, it's not Miss Alabama. She won the Miss Alabama. No, they called it Miss Alabama, but it's really something else. It's called the not Miss Alabama. Oh, National American Miss Pageant. Okay, see that? Yeah. It's like, well, that's not really Miss Alabama because there was the particular talent, the pageant that allowed you to enter, qualifications for the Miss America and then the Miss Universe, which is the most ridiculous thing. How about Miss World versus Universe? But anyway, it's a different story altogether. So anyway, so she wins this Miss North, Southwestern, whatever it is. She's plus size. Can't say fat. I don't even know why they say plus. The fact that they say plus size, I know this. You don't have to tell me this. I know this. And I think it's great. She's 100 and, I don't know, over 100 pounds overweight. Easy. Maybe more, 120. She is. And she's, they got a nice face. And remember all these terrible jokes when people would say, when somebody say, hey, I got a date for you. What's she like? Nice. Good personality. Yeah, but what's she look like? Well, makes her own clothes. What? What's she look like? Pretty face. What's she look like? Neat. You went, what? That kind of thing. It's like when you show somebody a picture of a baby. They don't do this anymore, but somebody, hey, guess what? I got a baby. Oh, terrific. And you look at this thing and you always say, that's big baby. Or my favorite, now that's a baby. A lot of hair. Anyway. So she won, and I think it's great. I think it's the most fantastic thing anybody's ever seen. Why? First of all, it might end this ridiculous pageantry that does nothing but subjugate women, and women don't even realize this. This is the part that kills me. With all of this nonsense, remember there was a word for a particular hat. Remember that it was a pink hat. It started with a P. It was a feline reference. It referred to the pudenda. Okay, the pudenda. Anyway, I'm looking at this thing, and there's the pudendal hat. It was made of wool or something. And it was a titular discussion of women, but now it's not really women anymore. Nobody talks about glass ceilings or voting, or they made some reference to the 19th Amendment, but there's nothing really about women. But if they really wanted to do something about women's rights, the first thing you would do is you would make these things almost illegal, because they're a modern day equivalent of the minstrel show, of the slave auction. It's this ceremonialized traditional celebration of the worth of women only by virtue of what they look like. Don't give me this business about their talent. Nobody cares about the talent. They threw that in just to placate whatever. They would ask Miss Arkansas, what do you think? Well, I think that if we're going to have world peace, okay, honey, that's it. Just cut it right up. What are we doing? Then the talent came out, with the baton, somebody playing the harp. I love the talent. Somebody would come out and do an oratory from something or sing, Nobody cares about that. Nobody ever won on the talent. Nobody. It's what you look like. That's what it is. They know it. The contestants know it. Everybody knows it. Well, here comes Sarah Milligan. Bless her heart. She comes in there and she is absolutely loving it. And she said, you know what? I'm going to run. And by God, she won. And the girls around her, they're saying, oh, isn't that terrific? And you can hear you can just hear it. And you know what? Good for her. And she knows she's being trolled. She knows it. Just like Corey Harris. The meanness. I did a video last night in support of this man. This was a guy who had the driver's license problem in Michigan with Judge Simpson. Remember him? Simpson had his problems too. And they just attacked this guy. He's a liar. I hate him. What do you mean you hate him? And I want to tell this young lady, good for you. You made it. Just sit there and just take the attention. The worst thing would have been if they said, we don't even notice you because of the hate today. We hate more people and we don't know the issues, but we know the hate. That's who we are. We are that way. I remember years ago when, I guess maybe years ago now, but when our friend Mike Lindell, remember when Mike Lindell came out with his MyPillow.com on SNL, they started just ragging on him and attacking him. Why? Because he sells pillows. What's wrong with that? They're the best pillow. Because he was a Trump supporter. And it was this hate. If you hate this young lady who won you've got some serious problems. But the best part about it is that this goes to show you how things in the world are changing drastically. And how maybe all of this nonsense will go away. But don't do to her what they did to Mike Lindell. This guy is they went after him like you cannot believe. And I say, good for you, Mike, because you were there for us. We were there for you. And it's MyPillow.com, promo code Lionel. It's time yet again, my friends, to hail and salute our great friends at MyPillow.com. And if you use promo code Lionel, you'll get a free gift. No purchase necessary. And yes, I know a free gift. It's a tautology, so sue me. But first, listen carefully. Check out their $25 extravaganzas. Premium MyPillows, Queen and King, MyPillow 2.0, MyPillow bed sheets, the lowest price ever. Sandals, slides, slippers, 6-piece towel sets, 4-pack dish towel sets. Simply and absolutely unbelievable. So go to MyPillow.com/Lionel, MyPillow.com, promo code Lionel, or call 800-645-4965 and watch how fast Mike Lindell answers the phone. MyPillow.com, simply and absolutely the best. Meme today, Joseph Sobran said, in 100 years, we have gone from teaching Latin and Greek in high school to teaching remedial English in college. We are so through, it's not even funny, my friends. How about this one? Great news. I normally would have the pictures, but I think you were smart enough to realize that I don't need to actually show you this, because this morning I got a late start doing some other stuff. San Francisco, huge Trump rallies. San Francisco, Trump rallies. like you can't believe. What do you think that's about? You know what's changing. I'm doing another one too. The Baldwins are coming on TV. Oh, I can't wait. I wish I could have a watching. Now that's a fun show to hate. Oh, I'll be the first one to tell you. It's just, you've got to be kidding. Alec Baldwin and his wife, Hilaria Charo, who I think I heard a little snippet of her. I think she's losing. She's trying to get out of the Spanish accent. Remember, she had a Spanish accent. She said she was from Mallorca's or from, Mallorca. And when in fact she wasn't, she made it up. I mean, think about that. Came up with the British accent is one thing. You know, when you're Madonna, you know, when you do the British thing, when you used to do that mid-Atlantic accent, you know, that's one thing. But for you to come up with the Spanish, listen to me, my name is Hilaria Baldwin, and to me, I think that my joven esposo, Mr. Alec Baldwin, everybody. Don't understand that one. So now she has been wanting, and I told you this a while back. I sound like Dershowitz. I told you this a while back. She's been wanting nothing more than doing a reality show. First, she did the yoga. Remember that? She's doing the yoga all the time. She's yoga. The kid's eating there. She's bent over a split. She's touching her toes. She's bending over. She's bending over. She's, look at me. I'm limber. Look at me. And Alex, who's a member of the 58 Club, is thinking, oh, God. I just, okay. All right. Then she has, how many kids do they have, honey? What? 7 under 10 years old. And one of them was like, well, kind of a, I'm not sure. It might have been like the couple of them, maybe the Immaculate Conception. You know what I mean? I remember one time as I used to love soap operas. Best show, best television. I remember Hughes. Was it Bob Hughes? Bob Hughes and Nancy, remember Nancy? They had a son on As the World Turns. And I was, I don't know, about 10, let's say, when this kid was born. And then one day, he's my age. It's like, it's just like in soap operas, women would have gestation periods, births that could go either 2 weeks or 9 years. It's like the movie The Rookies. Remember that? Rookie. How long are they rookies? You know, the Rookies. It's 12th season of The Rookies. Anyway. So we don't know about Alec. But Alec and his wife, Hilaria are doing this thing. And he was just thinking, oh my God. So she was always doing the yoga. That didn't work. So you know, and I know they had all these kids. And she has been pushing for this at home with a Baldwin. Now, by the way, that's over with. A bunch of kids scream. First of all, we hate Alec Baldwin. People hate him. He's so hated. He's hated by even Hollywood. It's just, what is the matter? Do you not understand this? Nobody's come to help him regarding that Rust business. Do you get what I'm telling you? Al, listen to me. And Stephen, who's a friend of mine, he's sitting in his car crying, talking to the Holy Ghost and the Spirit because he's into the Jesus thing. Whoa. Then you got Billy Baldwin married to that nutcase China. She's out of her tree. And then there's that one guy, the real bad one. Remember the Plaza Hotel? There were some other ones. I think I don't know if he's still around or who knows. It's over with for the Baldwin. The Baldwin family are like the King sisters. Remember the King sisters? Nobody remembers them. The Lennon sisters, yes. But the King sisters, who? They were like this knockoff. There was like the Osmonds, Jackson 5, and then Tony DeFranco and the DeFrancos. Like, This is the King sisters. There were, of course, Elise, Donna, Louise, Marilyn, Maxine, and Yvonne. I think, were they Mormons? They were a big band there. They were all Mormons, and they just never really caught on to the Lennon sisters. Well, that's like the Baldwins. It's over. So Alec and Hilaria and their 25 kids are doing this stuff. And Al doesn't understand he's hated. That's why nobody from Hollywood has come to help him. Nobody's come to help him regarding this Rust thing. Nobody. He doesn't get it. He doesn't understand it. If this were Ron Howard, they would have never filed any charges. Ron Howard? No. Opie? No. Opie could have said, hey, you, come here. He could have taken a thing, loaded it, and fired directly into the body of this person. And they say it happens because they love him. Scorsese, they love him. Spielberg, not even close. But Alec, see, when they don't need you anymore, you're done. You're toast. You're through. You're finished. Harvey Weinstein, you're done. You're done. Or they take care of you in a holding cell like they did a person whose name we don't want to mention. So Al right now, I hope he realizes that whatever money he's making from that goes right to the Rust judgment, because they're gonna just clean up. Maybe not on the criminal case, but the civil. Oh yeah. So he's doing this stuff, and it's just over. It's over. And the idea is that who in their right mind is actually suggesting today that this family show business, at home with the Baldwin, who cares? The Learning Channel. By the way, who was the first one of the first real reality show families? People forget this. The real one was, what was it, MTV? What was it, In the House or whatever? The first MTV was where you had people in a house and you saw what they were doing, and then they gave rise to, the Jersey Shore and all that stuff. But what was the first family show really popular with a bunch of 4 misfit boys and a real bitchy mom and a... You know the answer to that, right, honey, don't you? Yeah, who is it? No. Who remembers this one? This is people. Yeah, Big Brother. When you're, but who was the one? Who was the one who really? Not My 3 Sons. Not An American Family. Nope. Who is it? Come on. Not Father Knows Best. Not sitcoms. Actual real. It was Growing Up Gotti. The Gottis. Yep. That was it. People forget this. It worked bigger than anything. Look at Sparky, Ozzy and Harriet. God bless you. That's a sitcom. But also remember Ozzy's, that and Leave It to Beaver were part of this was all CIA. This was Alan Dulles. This was all propaganda against the Ruskies. Absolutely. But Alec Baldwin thinks he's gonna, and it's so over. You want to see reality? This internet. Last night, I don't know why, but I never realized how many videos there are of people inside tornadoes. Inside. Where the house is from all over the world. Anything you want. And I'm going to watch this nonsense of Alec Baldwin and these kids screaming, and Ilaria, who lost her accent for some particular reason. It was weird. Are you kidding me? There's stuff that is so good. Have you seen Iron Chef? I love this guy. Iron Chef, he's a Chinese fellow, I think, with his 2 sons. He goes, they go to McDonald's and they say, here, can you fix something out of this? He's got like 3.5 million. It's the greatest show. He takes a McDonald's, like a Big Mac, I remember, and he deconstructs it. He makes noodles. I mean, it's and I'm going to watch Alec Baldwin yell at some kid. I told you there was a guy in this house, and all of a sudden he goes, watch this tornado comes. And he looks out his porch. I don't know how. Oh, and ring camera TV. Just let that thing go. Forget everything else. It's like it's another channel. But he's there on his front porch. Everything's fine. I don't know where this camera is or if it was set up, but it's like nice and birds, and all of a sudden, whoosh, there's it. Turns black and everything's gone. Tree in his front lawn. It was amazing. And I'm going to watch Alec Baldwin. How about arrest shows? Oh my God, I love them. I love them. These people were the best thing that ever happened was vest cameras. And I'm going to watch Alec Baldwin. What are you talking about? So there's a big story in the Drudge today. The Drudge. By the way, is Matt Drudge alive? Anybody seen him? Can we do a welfare check? Is he alive? Are they going to Kate Middleton him, or have they? Because I'm sorry to say this, but Kate Middleton's dead. I mean, I'm sorry, or if she is, or she's near, because they don't even care. It must be horrible. And I'm not saying this out of any kind of laughing or whatever. It's horrible. Sparky says, initially, Ozzy and Harriet was actually a reality show to help promote the parents' music. Well, that's interesting. Kind of like a music video. It's hard to think of Ozzy and Harriet as being music. Remember Ricky with that stupid here, that big bottom lip? He always looked like his lip was like dripping wet. Hey, Mary Sue, goodbye, heart. Hey, Mary Sue, the minute. Scotty Moore. Was it Scotty Moore who played with him? Garden Party was the only one. Who knew he was so out of his mind? Oh, and by the way, whatever you want to say, next topic, whatever you want to say, you could say, at least I'm not Hunter Biden. This guy makes Keith Richards look like Billy Graham. How about the daughter of the Bo's wife? Bo, by the way, who was killed in every war. If you listen to Joe, he was killed in World War II. My son was killed in Normandy. What? Oh, my son, Bo. No, he wasn't. He wasn't even killed in war. No, he was. Anyway, so Bo's wife was doing crack, got hooked on crack with this vermin. I mean, Gigi Allen, Keith Richards at the height of his, this is the lowest. Next topic. I'm going to do one of this later. There is an internet meme or story about whether Biden, as they say, pooped his pants. Now, excuse me. I'm not saying this. It's on. This is okay. This is also stop it. I'm not saying, I didn't bring this up. Our buddy Ills, oh God, Ian Miles Chong. Ills sounds like a nickname for one of the royal family. Ills. Hang on, this is my TV show. This is the greatest thing. YouTube cannot beats everything. Here is the story. There is some of the greatest ever. Here's one for you. Ages of the founding fathers in 1776. John Jay, 30. Aaron Burr, 20. Thomas Paine, 38. John Marshall, 20. Benjamin Rush, 30. Thomas Jefferson, 33. Alexander Hamilton, 21. James Madison, 25. James Monroe, 18. Did you know that? You're not going to learn that listening to the whatever family, the Baldwin family. Hang on a second. I'm going to show you this. You're not gonna. Okay, hang on a minute. Yeah. This is a big story now. Here we go. Biden. Let me answer something too. I'm gonna be real petty. I'm changing the subject, kind of, sort of. I'm gonna be petty now. Have you gotten a load of Macron's wife? That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm just gonna let it go. I'm gonna leave it at that. Canadian Cancer Society has this story. Ready for this? Canadian Cancer Society, sorry for using cervix instead of front hole for LGBTQ plus community. Did you know that one? But here's the one I want to show you. Oh, San Francisco, Trump rally out of their minds. Here we go from the Daily Beast. I'm going to put it there. MAGA trolls. This is Ian Miles Chong did this. This is an actual story. MAGA trolls, they call it MAGA. I like MAGA. MAGA trolls reacted by accusing the president of pooping in his pants. And by the way, I prefer in his versus pooping his pants, which meant to me he passes pants. Peeing your pants, pissing your pants implies you expelled pants versus in or on. Headline: this video shows Biden did not in fact poop himself. This is the Daily Beast. All right? This is a real story. If I had told you that that was even remotely viable, that we have a president who might be incontinent, would you believe it? Think I'm kidding? Now, of course, we love, because why do you think this is, I mean, can you imagine the stuff where I could go in there and say, I don't understand why people are making such a big deal over the notion of incontinence on the part of the president. I would do this. I swear to God, anybody did whatever doing on Fox, but I would, can you imagine me on with Fox and Friends with Ainsley? Ainsley, I don't know what this childish preoccupation with, flatulence and incontinence. But I think it's Freudian, if you ask me. Can you imagine what she'd say? She wouldn't know what to do. Raul Rodriguez says the wigs make our founding fathers look older. And speaking of wigs, how about that Macron's wife? Just kidding. Sparky said, didn't Ozzy have a number one hit in the late 30s? That was a popular trivia question about 3 generations in a row of a family, each having a number one hit. Reality show party evolved from radio experiences. Let me explain something about Sparky and why I love him, okay? Sparky's, I don't know how long you've been with me, Sparky, but you're incredible. Sparky will get on a subject. He'll say something, Ozzy and Harriet. Okay. And he'll tell you everything you want to know about Ozzy and Harriet. We could be talking about things like, for example, and the problem is they're using Highland and the Russians and the war on the and there's going to be a war and the nuclear and the conflagration. Here comes Sparky. Harriet was actually born Juanita Nesselbaum in East Orange, New Jersey, in 1912. And her okay, that's good, thank you. Back to this. NATO was about the destruction of Ozzy. One time invented the a way of introducing anesthesia through the subclavian artery in 1920 in a now famous battlefield procedure that has saved lives. And he was a nominee for the Nobel Prize in 1930. I didn't know that. He will know everything there is about Ozzy and Harriet. Everything there is. And it's the best. And you can be talking. And then later on, we're talking about, and as far as I'm concerned, if China becomes, boom, Harriet, and people say, who's that? I love this man. I love this man. I can see a town meeting. Yes. Sparky? Yes. Was it Ozzy or Harriet? Who is this man? Yes. Why is he talking about? I think Sparky is a man. Anyway, I've talked to Sparky many times before. I don't want to give you a story. Sparky is independently wealthy. He made his money making it by a chain of tall and big men shop in Beijing. Most people don't know that. But there you go with that. Okay. So, Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil. What you need to do. Okay, Dr. Phil. God bless you. Okay. But I got to tell you. Oh, here we go. Bradley Alba says, have you watched the Trump Dr. Phil interview? No, I have not. I want to see the overviews of this. That's a good one. There is a woman, an African-American woman in the audience who says, I didn't know this about President Trump. And I think if I did, I would have acted differently, or I would have, whatever it was, but it was very, very interesting. And your point was well taken. Why do you keep this from me? Why? Listen, I've got news for you. You know that, and by the way, Bradley, thank you. You know that momentum creates momentum creates momentum. If I tomorrow said, you're not going to believe this, but the biggest thing, the biggest fad is people sticking their hands into fire ant mounds. Let's say I just make this up and nobody's ever done it. But I say this, I say to you, the biggest thing going on right now is people plunging their hands into fire ant. And for those of you in the South, the fire ant's a whole nother, that's another story. You don't want to get near that one. But do you know that people will immediately start doing it, even though nobody's done it? But because I've said that people are doing it, they will come out of the woodwork. So momentum creates momentum. So if you start reading about how Trump is being loved, how Trump is the next best thing, how folks are, I'm telling you, they come out of the woodwork. Next one too. Next, the Gilgo Beach killer left detailed instructions on how he killed his prey and dismembered them. Left detailed instructions. What are you doing? Again, I'm thinking to myself, glad that we've caught him, and that's what. Who does this? Just saying. Next, Steve Bannon. Bless his heart. I don't know. I don't want to say I'm not a Steve Bannon fan. Poor guy is somebody sent me one of the worst puns, and it was terrible what they said. But I thought, it was very, very clever. He said everything's coming up rosacea. He's got some very serious. He's got either active rosacea or something. He does not look well, healthy. He always wears the same kind of vest, which is fine. Which I don't really care about that. But he has this. He sounds comical. He speaks his language, and I want to say, no, Steve. This is not a MAGA stampede. But all I know is they're going to put him in jail for X amount of time. And everybody who goes into jail ends up coming out better. Owen Schroyer, Alex Jones's partner, whatever, he was, they do this. The only ones from the Trump, not one person in the Biden group has ever gone to jail. But Steve Bannon is himself now the latest, and his popularity is going to go through the roof. I cannot believe how much censorship between Snowden, Assange, Schroyer, Navarro, now Bannon. They do know that if you keep doing this, you're going to hurt yourself in the long run. Next, British folks are coming in, taking over our newsrooms. Give it up. Okay? Give it up. There is nothing, absolutely nothing left of the American news media platform. Give it up. Do you understand this? Do you hear what I am saying? Do you hear what I am saying? It's over. It's done. The newsroom? You want to go into the newsroom? Wall Street Journal's over. They're bringing in somebody from the Beast and the Telegraph. Fleet Street is going to come in and claim. Do you understand what's something? Do you understand what's important? Let me see if I can explain this. Americans, and please don't take this the wrong way, but it's true, are anti-intellectual, spoiled brats living in a time that does not exist. They don't care about the news. They know nothing about the news. They don't know what you're talking about. Nothing. They don't care about Israel. They don't care about Palestine. Don't tell me, well, I do. Great, you're the one. America doesn't care about that. Doesn't care about. Have you noticed too? Why are there no more I guess, what's the word? Why are there no more protests on college campuses regarding this? Have you noticed that? No more. What, they get tired? You don't stop the momentum. You pick up momentum, kind of like the expanding universe. Here's a buddy Moore man says the French president's wife could scare a cat off a fish cart. Early fall trip to New York City coming up. What is the name of the bar with the free hot dogs? I have got to make it there before I kick the proverbial bucket. Oh, Rudy's. Rudy's, absolutely. Rudy's in Hell's Kitchen. I'll give you the whole. Rudy's is a cheap beer, New York City. Rudy's right there. This is on 9th Avenue. I will give you the link. Rudy's got the big pig in front of it. You can't miss it. On 9th Avenue. It's a classic. The idea of the dive bars are so critical. There you go, more, man. I'm putting it right in there for you, buddy boy. That's it. Rudy's. The smell of a great, they don't have them anymore, but first of all, a great Irish pub, Irish place. In New York City, depending upon where you live, in the old days, this was a drinking town. You had saloons and gin joints, and you had places where you hung out. Where did you go? Oh, where does he go? Oh, he goes to Neary's. Oh, he's at Druid's. Oh, he's at Armstrong's. Oh, he's at Faces and Names. Where are you going? Oh, he's at Kennedy's. Kennedy's was the greatest ever close. Ever. That place was, in the old days, years and years ago, well, not too far ago, I had a lot of good times with Lawrence Fishburne. We would bounce. Kiefer Sutherland was in there one night, kind of. It was interesting. One night, little Steven from The Sopranos, from Springsteen, good guy. I don't know if he may not talk to me now, but we talked for a bit. Good guy, good guy, great guy. He was leaving, and he says, "Come here, I want to show you something." As he was leaving, I said, "Okay." So we walked outside, and right at Kennedy's on 57th, there was the light where this thing was, and standing there, right there, which is why he wanted to call my attention, but not Keith Richards, right there, under the light, and the light on the face, it was incredible. And they were going together to The Sopranos opening night or whatever, the season premiere at Radio City. So that's where they were going. I cannot tell you, there was the greatest bar ever. After 9/11, everybody went there to see who was alive. It wasn't a bar. It was a pub, a public house by legit Irish. And when the World Cup played, forget it. And St. Patrick's Day, it was a week. You could not move. Those days are over. Done. Sparky says, did you see where Brianna Joy Gray was fired from the Hill? I did not. Dear God. Bill Crowell, ladies and gentlemen, says, howdy from the people, Republic of Texas. Billy, long time no see, my friend. Thank you, sir. Brianna, oh my God. Because Robbie, her cohort, Brianna Joy Gray, unbelievable. Let's see what's happening with this one. Hold on here. Fired. Oh, here we go. Look at this. Brianna Joy Gray fired from the Hill. This is according to New York Post. Days after rolling her eyes at the sister of an October 7th hostage during the interview. A political commentator was sacked from the Hill days after rolling her eyes while interviewing the sister of an Israeli abducted on October the 7th. It finally happened. The Hill has fired me, Brianna said wrote on X. Let me see what this is. She writes here, thank you for that. It finally happened. The Hill has fired me. There should be no doubt that Rising Hill was a clear pattern of suppressing speech, particularly when it's critical of the state of Israel. This is why they fired, I guess, Katie Halper. Oh my gosh. And only a matter of time before they fired me. They continue to follow me. Okay, they have a copy of the memo regarding Brianna Joy. Notice of contract termination. Dear Brianna Joy, and they spelled her name wrong. It's Brahna. They put Briana. Dear Brianna Joy, this is 30 days notice written. This is 30 days written notice that our consulting services agreement is being terminated pursuant to provisions of Section 5.3 for convenience. Thank you for your contributions and wish you the best in your future endeavors. Sincerely, Next Star Media. She says, also, by the way, Robbie did not know, has objected, and shouldn't be blamed. Wow. Unbelievable. Now, should you be fired? No. Should you be, you should say, hey, come here. What are you, rolling your eyes? What's the matter with you? What's the matter with you? It's not the way you do it. It's not the way you don't, that's the way I would do. And if I ran the place, I'd make a big deal out of it. I say, you can't do this. You can't do this. I want you to apologize, rolling your eyes. But we're not going to fire you because you're maintaining a position. But if you're rude, we're not going to take talent who brings something to our station and fire you and hope to say, okay, good. No. If you violate some rule here, not because of some kind of rudeness or curtness, no. You don't fire people for that. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in your life. And I'm such an old school kayfabe wrestling guy. I'd make it a big deal. Should we fire her? I would make this almost like let people roll in. What do you think? Are we supposed to fire somebody? What if she rolled her eyes at somebody from PETA? Listen, let me explain something to you. And I've told you this. When people get involved, especially when it comes into Israel or whatever, they lose their minds. And as I've been telling you, understand what these folks think. Sparky, do you think they should have fired her? I think she's terrific. The best is Breaking Points. The best. I love them. It's the future. No, it's now. They are. No. I love to see a new version of something. I love to see what somebody does. They're doing some really interesting new barbecue, even though I don't eat barbecue, but in Texas, new styles of. I like taking something and saying, "Ooh, that's a neat way of doing it." I like when people rediscover stuff. I like innovation. I don't want to fire people. If she made a mistake, if she rolled her eyes, so what? Say, hey, Brianna, don't roll your eyes at people. Okay, there, I said something. Sparky says, I guess Bree just couldn't keep up with Robbie's massive intellect. Robbie's such a lightweight. I know you're probably thinking, who the hell is she talking about? Who in the hell who are these people? Is this inside? Yeah, it's inside. Two of the biggest shows. Now, if Breaking Points is smart, they'll pick her right up. Now, of course, Crystal Ball, Sparky, maybe you'll agree, will be, they're not going to like that. No, I'm the one here. And you've got two, this Harvard educated, whatever, please. Why do we fire people because of speech? That's the last thing. Why do we kill people because of speech? I ask you the question, Sparky. If Brianna had made a comment about made something about, laughed at a woman about pro-choice, anti-choice, PETA. Nobody would have said anything. Come on. Come on. You know and I know. Please. And everybody's got their thing. Everybody's got their thing. I mentioned before Steve Bannon. I'd hire him in a minute. Why? Because he hits a nerve. He's it. What I like doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I like. And if somebody says something good, make a controversy. Say something. Say something. Do something. I one time said something. Listen to this. True story. When I was at WABC, we had this. Well, when I was first there, it was the greatest group ever. The greatest group ever. Bob Grant, Rush Limbaugh, Lynn Samuels, who was Ed Koch. It was wild. And we had a group of people who loved what you did, and they went to bat for you. Wonderful people. John Minnelli was a program director. He was terrific. So one day, I said this thing, and it was about Tourette syndrome. I didn't mean anything by it. And I said, and of course, as you know, Tourette syndrome, people always think of coprolalia, where people are yell and they bark profane things. That's just a part of it. That is a part of it. The number one exhibited manifestation of Tourette's is tics, followed by OCD, followed by coprolalia, the yelling, obscene epithets and things like that. Okay. So I did this thing, and I thought, I didn't think it was that funny, but I just said it. And I went on the air and I said, I've got an idea. That because I remember Quincy, there's a big deal for people who have Tourette's or who are saying things. Maybe they should move to a country where no one will understand them. It might be a bit disruptive, but at least you won't know what they're saying. If somebody sits in a movie theater and yells "merde," okay, not the funniest thing in the world, not meant to hurt. It was just okay. I remember the time I got somebody from the Tourette's. I'm not going to go into it, but the Tourette Society wrote these letters. And at the time, the management said, well, they got a point. And I could see the point of your, okay, that was it. The point was, what am I supposed to do? What, shut you down because somebody doesn't like you? And by the way, I said, by the way, I got letters from people who do like me. So can I get a raise? Can you give me a raise? How about a raise? What do you think? Because if you're going to fire somebody because they don't like you, you should raise their money. We are losing our minds. Okay, losing our minds. And she and other people, and I got to say something right now, and I mean this, and I am saying this with all due respect. Our zeitgeist today does not like the free thinker. We don't like the independent voice. We don't like this. So when people are saying things that are not acceptable regarding Israel, that are too pro-Palestinian, too pro-Gaza, and God forbid pro-Hamas, forget it. Donna Baird, welcome, Donna. Sparky says, overall, Bree's great, or Brianna. I don't even know if she actually rolled her eyes in any case. It's a bogus excuse, directly or indirectly. Israel had her fired for making sense about the Palestinian problem. And you know what? As you know, and finally people are saying, why is there this debate? Why is it anti-Semitic? Why is it wrong to sit there and say that that AIPAC is a huge, powerful Jewish lobby? It's called that. That's not bad. We used to have the NRA, used to be a Second Amendment lobby, not anymore. Why is that a problem? Why do we pretend that doesn't exist? I don't understand it. What, are you kidding me? Everybody's got a lobby. What are you talking about? Everybody's got a lobby. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. And by the way, Sparky, let me ask you, why are there no more protests? What, did we get tired of that? Did everybody at the colleges say, all right, that's it. That's it. Sparky says, depends if it's a French theater. Well, of course. Okay, let's stick with the African clicking. Oh, no, you know that, but my favorite language. Just like Zauli, the dancing. Have you seen that? Have you seen Zauli? The greatest dancing ever? Have you seen it? Maybe I'll play it for you later, but have you seen this one? It's Zaouli. The greatest dancing ever. Let me see if we can show you this one. Okay, this is it. This is it. I'm going to show you this one. I'm going to show you. Somehow, I've got to show you this. And I want you to see this. Just stop for a second. I'm not a dancer in the least. Okay. I don't dance, so don't ask me. Okay. That's a joke. I don't have any indication whatsoever, but I want to show you something here. And I'm going to get this up for you. Just a second. Here we go. There we go. Just a second. I want you to see this. And I want you to, okay, I want you to watch this. Okay. There we go. I'll put it here. All right, let's see if we can watch this. Hang on a minute. Sounds good already, doesn't it? Wouldn't it be a great music for a laxative commercial? Okay. Now watch this. This is Zauli. And I'll find out the specifics of it. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm going through the production as we speak. That's how much I love you, and that's how great you are. Let me try this again. Just before we forget, you will be hooked on this. Just a second. There we go. Okay. You will be hooked on this. Stand by. Stand by. You're worth the wait. Talk amongst yourselves. Here we go. All righty. Great. This is Zauli. Okay, got it? Try this. That's it. That's it. Everything else fails by comparison. Everything fails by comparison. Just dig this. Just dig this. The next time you go on the dance floor, check this baby out. Say what you want. Not good, by the way. Can you imagine? You think Joe Biden can do this? Have you also seen, by the way, have you seen this? Just tell me yes or no. Don't make me find it. I think it's Cariza Ann. They do this dancing like they're floating. Have you seen this? And you watch and you're saying, how do they do this? It's the most incredible thing in the world. And like I told you, anti-extermination. It was good. Years ago when I heard there was a commercial, I got into flamenco dancing. Not me personally, but Javier, was it Cortez was the guy. And I saw a documentary at some little art house here in New York on flamenco dancing. I really got into it. The real dancers. And there was a commercial that said, that's no way to kill roaches. All right. Racist? Not really. But very, very funny. I'm trying to find this. There is this thing that I wish to God I could show you. I'm going to try to find it for later tonight. It's this new form of dancing. Now, let me go back to what I said before to you. With everything that I can see right now around the world, do you think I'm going to watch Alec Baldwin? You think I'm going to watch, seriously, do you think I'm going to act, Alec Baldwin? One more time. I know you're digging it. I know you're digging it. Okay, here we go. Imagine this, Sparky. You're at home in Roanoke or wherever the hell you are, and all of a sudden you say, I'll take the dance. Hit it. Can you play Cat Scratch Fever? There we go. Now this is it. Walking down the street, you think somebody would mug this guy? Just go to any neighborhood. Just middle of the night. Come out of a doorway. Just do this. Walk into a McDonald's and do this. Walk into this scares the hell out of you. Now, the story behind this, by the way, is equally fascinating because and don't ask me how, because this is what I want to learn. Remember a while back, Robert Duvall was into tango dancing. Let me see. This dancing is terrific. The Zauli dance. It's Zaouli, and I'm sure I'm mispronouncing it. The Zauli dance of the Ivory Coast carries multiple layers of meaning representing cultural identity, celebrating femininity, fostering cohesion, and serving as a cultural emblem that promotes Ivorian heritage and value. I want to do this. By the way, is a dance of the Guro people who speak the Guro language of Central Ivory Coast. The Zauli mask used in the dance was created in the 1950s, reportedly inspired by a girl named Djela Lu Zauli, meaning Zauli, daughter of Jela. However, stories of the origins of the mask are varied in popular culture. Sri Lankan rapper, including a clip of the dancer, K-pop did it. I think it's the most incredible thing I've ever seen in my life. This I would go see. This is it, not this modern dance stuff. So remember, Zauli dancer. Okay? Yep. Somebody said, yeah, a white person wrote that. John Travolta versus Patrick Swayze. John Travolta. John Travolta is one of the greatest natural dancers ever. John Travolta and Michael Jackson. Natural dancer. Michael Jackson was on another planet. But don't forget what Cicero said, no sane man will dance. Irish cloggers go fast too. Yeah, but that, that river dance stuff, that's where your arms don't move. But this, fantastic. I want to show you, remind me, and I'll have this for you tonight. I'll make a note of this. This floating thing that'll blow your mind. Blow your mind. And it's not much of a dance, but it's almost like an illusion. You see? Let me try this again. And the Travoltas think they're going to take the world by storm. I could watch this all day long. You think you're going to compete with this? Alec Baldwin pretending to yell at the kids about making too much noise? I don't think so. This is what you got to know sometimes when it's time to change. In any event, dear friends, let me thank you. Let me thank Sparky. You have been without peer today, my friend. Thank you. Donna Baird, thank you for being a new member. And by the way, Sparky, thank you for our Ozzie and Harriet lore. Bill Crowell, the lovely and talented one, thank you. Mowerman USA, an old favorite, Mr. Bradley Oplin, ladies and gentlemen. And Raul Rodriguez, double R, as we call him. All right, dear friends, have a great and a glorious and a wonderful and a beautiful and a fantastic day. Thank you so much for making me enjoy our moment in this moment of this thing called, what is it called? Oh, yes, Ventilation Friday. I like this. May do it again later. Just between you and me, it's the same as it usually is, but it's got a pithy name. All right, dear friends, don't forget to follow Mrs. L at Lynn's Warriors on YouTube. She knows what she's talking about. Have a great day. See you tonight at 7. By the way, sign up. I got a new video dropping. All you members, you'll see this. Anyway, see you tonight, 7 p.m. Thought Change. And until then, remember, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue you. Dad.